Right, so what I'm doing is I'm going to show you a demo of how to record with Polly. Because I'm very much involved with the actual TV story now, I'm going to show you something very interesting and unique. So normally when you use an AI to generate text, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed before you can actually copy it, because otherwise it just gives you a whole lot of verbal diarrhea when you're trying to do it. So I'm going to pause the video here and clean up this text using Microsoft Word. So by the simple act of just posting it into Word, I've cleaned up a lot of it already, but there are the lines that need to be cleaned up. So I'm going to pause again while I clean this up with Notepad and get rid of the lines. Lines being these arrows left to right every couple of lines. So right, now I'm back in Polly, and we have the Edge browser interface that has been integrated into Polly, and I'm replacing the text with the text that I've cleaned up with Word and Notepad, and we're going to choose a voice. We're going to choose a voice that then is able to read it nice and loudly. So I go down here, and I don't like Microsoft English UK George. I like. Let's see if we can get Lee, South African female, to speak for us. But before I do that, I'm going to just minimize there. There is a start recording feature which allows you then to capture the actual voice and press speak.
Tuberculosis in the archaeological record from Northern Europe to Southern Africa. Introduction. Tuberculosis, TB, caused by the Mycobacterium tuberculosis complex, is among the most ancient infectious diseases of humankind. Its traces have been identified in skeletons, mummified remains, and, more recently, through the extraction of ancient DNA, ADNA. These discoveries allow researchers to track the deep time history of TB, its geographic spread, and the ways in which different human populations have interacted with the pathogen. For over a century, the prevailing view has been that TB emerged in the ancient Near East or North Africa and spread alongside farming. Yet recent archaeological and genetic evidence suggests that Northern Europe shows some of the earliest signs of tuberculosis, and that
Now, as you can see, for some reason, sometimes when you do text that is being collected by an AI, it cuts off because there is a dot or a comma or some HTML that stops it. However, let me just stop the recording there, because what happens is I'm going to now grab the actual recording, and I'm going to transfer the WAV file into an MP3, and I'm just going to do this on the desktop so you could see for demonstration purposes. Okay, now we minimize all of the stuff. And that box is actually your words, your 600,000 odd words that it uses for the, if you're using Polly itself, it's actually got those words, what do you call that function? That function that works with people, where cognitive word prediction, I think. Now, there is your MP3. So it was saved and made by Polly completely. And your MP3 can be added to a video file or used as an audio file on its own. Let's just look at the size. I must apologize for background noise here. So let's just play this file.
Tuberculosis in the archaeological record from Northern Europe to Southern Africa. Introduction. Tuberculosis, TB, caused by the Mycobacterium tuberculosis.
as you can see, that's how you use the record function. But there are other functions in Poly that are very, very nice. The command button, Poly please paste.
Pasting text from the clipboard.
And there we actually have my dictation from earlier on.
Voice feedback commander stopped.
Now stop the commander so we can actually do some reading, because I'm just going through the basic functions and I'm not sure which voice you've set. Maybe I should do that first. Voice settings, voice selector. Hazel, Great Britain's fine. So
Tuberculosis in the archaeological record, from Northern Europe to Southern Africa. Introduction. Tuberculosis, TB, caused by the Mycobacterium tuberculosis complex, is among the most ancient infectious diseases of humankind.
now what I'm trying to show you is the various functions, so I'm not going to go through all of that. So let's start with the Poly make bold. There we go, makes bold. Poly size 12. Poly make bold. Poly make bold. Okay, so what we have here is Poly making bold, and you see how it works with the sizes. Good afternoon, Poly. Good morning, Poly. Okay, Poly's not interested in talking to me, greeting me today, but that's fine. This has just been a brief introduction to show you some of the features of Poly. Good morning, Poly. Okay. I'm just going through it again. It's been a little while since I've used it, seeing that I've been in hospital for so long. I've actually been using bits and pieces of it online, which I shouldn't really be doing. Then you have applications, which you can use your mind map. Yes. Okay. Now.
Pasting the selected text to the text area.
The dialogues do work for opening, saving, and that sort of thing. Open document. There you go. Save document. Thank you so much for your continued support. Trust us.